Shalom, shalom. This is Shalama from the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. First, I want to say call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there pushing his word and truth and sincerity to make their calling of election sure. Peace and safety to the elect of Israel. This is going to be a lesson based off this article here on NewYorker.com. Basically going into race wars / civil wars coming to America. And basically you have researchers, people putting, dedicating time and research into this, giving percentages of, how long it could take, and, basically looking into the they pretty much getting themselves ready. So, in a civil war or a race war, you got one people fighting another people in the same land. So it's not going to be one side and another side. It's going to be, it's going to be basically fighting, like killing in groups. It's not going to be a battlefield. You have, one side of people and, it's on the other side of the field, it's another people. No, it's going to be like all out violence in war. But basically getting into it, you see on the picture, you have this looks like maybe a protest, and there was some things thrown in the street, and you got different groups of people out here, and this is pretty much the way it is now. It looks like this thing is going to come down to, well, you have different groups. You have the Republicans and you have Democrats. You got white and you got black. You got so-called Negroes against so-called Caucasians. And those Caucasians are actually going against, or the so-called white people whose real name is Esau Edom, according to the Bible. You have the Edomites basically hating everybody. They hate Judah, the Negroes. They hate pretty much all the tribes of Israel. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So it's been an ongoing feud with the Native Americans. It's a huge. They have a huge hate for you Latinos, especially you Mexicans, and of course, Esau been hating the so-called black man Negroes who are from the tribe of Judah ever since we've been here. But just going on to get into the article, it says a day after the brawling and racist brutality and deaths in Virginia, Governor Terry McAuliffe, I think I said that correct, asked how did we get to this place? The more relevant the questions after Charlottesville and other deadly episodes in Ferguson, Charleston, Dallas, St. Paul, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, and Alexandria is where the United States is headed. How fragile is the Union, our republic, and a country that has long been considered the world's most stable democracy. How is this place gonna be the world's most stable democracy when it's pretty much the most violent place on the planet? And the reason for that is you have Esau Edom, who was in charge, and you have all these other nations here. And when you have when Esau starts seeing the numbers of people that are not him growing, he feels threatened. So what does he do? He uses his blessing, which is the sword. He goes into murdering. He goes into threats. Basically, terrorist attacks on his own land. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is the biggest terrorist on the planet. That's what he do. That's what he's done through history. and everybody knows that, including him. I've talked to a few so-called white people, and they even said, "Hey, the white man is known for war." When I first came into the truth about over 3 years back, I was talking to this Edomite that I used to work with, and I used actually a few of these guys, they were Masons, so they got their little secrets and all that. But he was asking me because I was mad at the world, I was mad at everything when I first came into this thing. So he was like, "Hey man, you done changed. What's going on?" And I didn't want to speak to him. He basically just kept, me and him worked together, so he just kept asking me, "Hey, what's going on?" I told him, I said, "Look, man, I told him that I'm into the truth." Actually, when I first came into this thing, I was telling a lot of people, which is really not a good idea now, but just letting people know who I am, what I and how I don't do certain things like everybody else. But basically, Esau Edom, he was asking me about you know what's going on. So I said, "Look, man, I just realized that I'm a Hebrew Israelite and I'm studying a lot of different things." He was like, "Oh yeah." I said, I'm upset because I didn't know, everything that I was taught was a lie." And he told me, he was like, "Well, the only reason it's like that because the winners get to write history." Basically agreeing with me, saying that, yeah, everything you've been fed is a lie. And right after that, he said, "Well, another thing that you're gonna find out is gonna be a race war real soon." So this is Esau Edom telling me this, and he was basically going into a lot of secrets that these Masons study. But I'm gonna get into a few precepts. I don't want to do too much talking here. This is Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So these people, when I say these people, I'm talking about Israel and Esau, Jacob and Esau, is going to be out here just going mayhem in these streets real soon. And right after that, you're going to have martial law implemented. And verse 17, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Yeah, because it's going to be a police state. It's going to be, everything is going to be locked down. People are going to be carried away into concentration camps. It's going to be military on the roads. It's going to be all out violence, and this is coming real soon. And the only way you Israelites, can be saved out of this, once again, is to call on the name Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Keep his commandments to the best of your ability, and pray for salvation. But just to keep on reading, I'm not trying to make this too long. I'm going to go down into the percentages. Okay, here it is. It says, "In March, Mines was one of several national security experts whom foreign policy asked to evaluate the risk of a second civil war with percentages. Mines concluded that the United States faces a 60% chance of civil war over the next 10 to 15 years. Other experts' predictions range from 5% to 95%, and that was 5 months before Charlottesville. So basically, what happened in Charlottesville basically increased the percentage of Civil War, race wars occurring. So, different studies show 5%, some show 5%, some show 95%. Those people who voted on that 5%, they pretty much have their head in the ground. They don't see exactly what's going on. They don't know the prophecies that's about to come to pass, and they don't look at the news. All they do, they go to work and they see Negroes and so-called white people working together and having a good old time. Well, it's not really like that, because you have different Edomites. You have Esau. Esau hates you Negroes and you Latinos and Native Americans. He hates the Israelites. He has a perpetual hatred. It's been like this since the beginning. Another thing, I looked at a video that's been surfacing the web. There was a two-third. I want to say he's a two-third nigga, because his actions, the way he talked, and basically the police pulled them over for a seatbelt violation. And the officer, he tried his best. I'm just gonna say he tried his best to comply with this guy. But the guy, he wanted to, yell, say, no, I'm not doing this, no, I'm not doing that. Dude, it's a damn seatbelt violation. He just want to get your license, make sure you don't have any warrants. I'm not siding with the police, of course, but I'm just saying, Jake need to learn. Sometimes you have to side with your enemy, just to, see another day. Because this dude could have easily been murdered. I'm not sure if he survived what happened, but in a minute I'm gonna get into it. But basically, he he refused to give his license, because he was saying that everybody riding around with no seatbelt, and you decided to pull me over. Dude, I mean, the seatbelt is a law. You broke the law. Police pulled you over. Get your ticket. It's not gonna be a real high fine. It's gonna be a seatbelt ticket. Pay that shit and keep it moving. We have to move like that. We have to be harmless as a dove, wise as a serpent. But Jake just wanted to act a damn fool. He wanted to get out the car and wrestle the police. Once the other police officers showed up, they told him to get out the car. They tried to force him out the car, so he started fighting the police. He picked them up and slammed them. And the female officer, she yelled, "Taser, taser," and but she pulled out the wrong weapon. She actually pulled out her firearm and shot the guy in the back. And she was like, "Oh, I shot him, I shot him." But just to make this thing short, looking at the comments on the video, you have Esau Edom saying, "Yeah, she did the right thing. Yeah, you have to do your best when you're dealing with situations like this, and she made the best decision." What they failed to realize, that she made a mistake, and then she even admitted that she made a mistake. But Esau was looking at it as being justified, because she shot an unarmed black man. That's what they want to see. And it was way more comments, negative comments on the video of her doing the right thing than anything else. So, at the comments, it was hundreds of comments on this thing. So that lets you know how Esau Edom feels about you Negroes. In a minute, he's gonna turn up, and these percentages is gonna be more likely, especially this 95%. Let me get into some more precepts to kind of shorten this thing up. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 12. It says, "Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." So there's gonna be a lot of you Negroes out here. You Negroes, first of all, Jake, 2/3, you've been killing each other for a long time. That's just the Lord putting the spirit on you to, basically to weed out the wicked among Israel. So a lot more you're gonna die in these times. You're gonna have Esau gunning you people down real soon. And it's not gonna be just black against white or Esau against Jacob. It's gonna be Esau against Esau as well. Or some of these people that look like Edomites, that look like the so-called black man, they're actually Israelites. So it's gonna be a lot of fighting going on, and I'm gonna get that too. And the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, and verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Man, that's a lot of brawling right there. That's basically everybody fighting, except for the men that's into the truth. What Lord's willing, us brothers that's into this truth, we all make it to the kingdom. Before we make it to the kingdom, Lord's willing, the Lord bless us with spiritual powers, where we will have powers to avoid, uh, any destruction coming to us and our families. And if you want to keep reading this article, this is from the NewYorker.com, and it's called, "Is America Headed for a New Kind of Civil War?" Answer is yes. America is headed for civil war, race war, nuclear war, World War III, every war that you can think of, chemical war, uh, biological war, everything that you could think of, pestilences, famine, all that is headed to the United States of America and other parts of the world. And the only way you can get saved, once again, is to call on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, and pray for your salvation. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Once again, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and safety to the elect of Israel. Shalom.